Today, we'll take you far away to a cursed temple where you will have to escape many dangers with the help of the only man who's brave enough to face them, Indiana Jones. So Fastpass Facts brings to you 5 facts you need to know about Indiana Jones' adventure. So, you're walking around the park and you're in the mood for a faster ride that will take you on an amazing adventure. And you decide that the best ride for the job is Indiana Jones' Adventure. After all, it's one of the fastest rides in all of the park, right? Well, sorry to break it to you, but the ride does not travel at a greater speed than other attractions. In fact, thanks to a motion simulator, it only feels like it. We get the impression that we're moving 65 miles per hour, when in reality, we're never going faster than 22 miles per hour. And speaking about simulations, do you remember the part when our Jeep starts going backward? That's an illusion too. What Imagineers did to create this illusion was to make the motion simulator move in its place while the walls move forward. Want to see how it's done? Next time you're in the ride, look backward. Indiana Jones' Adventure is jam-packed with interesting things and props. Did you know that there are more than 1,300 props, 2,000 fake skulls, and 2,000 different snakes? There are also over 168,000 square feet of hand-carved surfaces full of hieroglyphics, and actually, the Mercedes vehicle that's stationed in the ride queue is an actual prop from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And speaking about props, did you know that while most animatronics are made like mannequins dressed in costumes, the Indiana Jones figure was modeled fully clothed and made entirely out of rubber? This makes it easier to clean because instead of having clothes that would need to be washed and pressed, Indiana can be cleaned with a simple scrubbing. Now, everyone knows that anything related with our friend Indy has to be a great adventure, and this ride is not an exception. Actually, it all started when he followed some clues deep into India and discovered ruins that were believed to be the legendary temple of the Forbidden Eye. When he went in, he started noticing some carvings that told the story of the goddess Mara, a powerful ancient deity who promised great treasures to the pure of heart, and death to those foolish enough to gaze into its all-seeing eyes. This would be a pretty big warning for anybody. But Indy's friend Salah decided that he wasn't scared, so he decided to organize tours, setting up mirrors arranged in an ingenious way so that tourists could avoid looking into the cursed eyes of Mara. He also made a video asking tourists to take heed and avoid looking into the goddess's eyes. Everything was going as planned until some tourists started to disappear without a trace. Indy went into the temple to investigate, but sadly, he hasn't been seen since. So we need to enter the temple and find out what happened to Indy and help him escape. But spoiler alert, he obviously ends up saving us.
Tonight's episode of Fastpass Facts is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. This, as you may recognize, is a maintenance service elevator, still in operation, waiting for you. And we invite you, if you dare, to step aboard, because in tonight's episode, Fastpass Facts brings to you 5 facts you need to know about the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, like its name indicates, is based on the Twilight Zone, an amazing television series that ran from 1959 to 1964. Rod Serling was the creator of the series and also its host. Actually, many of the props in the hotel queue are references to different original Twilight Zone episodes. So, if you like the show, look for all of the references that are around the hotel. And speaking about the Twilight Zone and its host, the footage used in the Q pre-show is the original footage taken from an episode called It's a Good Life. But while the footage is all Rod Serling, the voice is not. Mark Silverman provided the voice impersonation for Serling when he introduced the maintenance service elevator that takes us straight into the Twilight Zone. Now for the story of one of our favorite rides. Portrait of a Hotel, Halloween Night, 1939. 5 people get in an elevator while a severe thunderstorm is raging outside. While they are in there, a lightning bolt strikes the hotel, causing the elevator to drop and crash, and the people inside to disappear. No one knows what happened to them, and so, the hotel closes abruptly and the mystery remains unsolved. The names of these 5 people are Sally Shine, Emmeline Partridge, Gilbert Lawrence, Carolyn Crossan, and Dewey. The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is one of the tallest attractions in the Disneyland Resort, with its height being just a little bit under 200 feet, and the drop height being 130 feet. No wonder it takes us into another dimension. Everyone thinks that this is a free fall attraction, right? Well, it's not. Actually, we fall faster than the speed of gravity. We reach a speed of almost 40 miles per hour while we're falling. That's crazy, isn't it? Sadly, this amazing attraction is changing in January, but if you visit before that date, you get to experience, if you dare, the late checkout. You'll get to go on the ride in complete darkness, and you'll also be treated to a special performance from the Silver Lake Sisters. We already did, and it's something out of this world.
Everybody's got a laughing place, and today we're going to talk about our favorite one. That's right, Fastpass Facts brings to you 5 facts you need to know about our very own Zippity-Doo-Dah Splash Mountain. Before 1988, Critter Country was named Bear Country, and it was home to lots of bears. And one of these bears was Rufus. Near the entrance, there was a cave in which you could hear the snores of Rufus, the sleeping bear. When Splash Mountain opened and Bear Country became Critter Country, Rufus found out that he had to move, so he took up residency in Brother Bear's cave near the start of the ride. But Rufus is not the only animal that decided to move to Splash Mountain. Turns out that after the America Sings attraction was closed, many animals found themselves without a home, and Imagineers decided that they too would move into Splash Mountain. About 100 animals moved over there. So, remember when we told you that the Matterhorn was the highest point in all Disneyland? Well, turns out that Splash Mountain is even taller than the Matterhorn. But because the Matterhorn is a Disneyland landmark, it was decided that Splash Mountain would sink a few feet underground so that the Matterhorn could stay the tallest attraction on all Disneyland. Splash Mountain exists on 3 Disney parks around the world, but each one is different. The original Splash Mountain is the one in Disneyland. It's located in Critter Country, and it has a fall of 52.5 feet. The second Splash Mountain is the one in Walt Disney World. This one is located in Frontierland, and it also has a fall of 52.5 feet. The last one is the one in Tokyo Disneyland. This one is also located in Critter Country, but it has a fall of 60 feet. Also, the music in all of the rides is different. The soundtrack for Disneyland Splash Mountain is unique, while the Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Disneyland Splash Mountain have the same music score. Some of the songs in Tokyo Disneyland are sung in Japanese. Ever watch the whole Splash Mountain story while riding it? We know it can be a little confusing, so we're going to break it down for you. Brother Rabbit lives in the Briar Patch, but he really wants to leave to go look for a little more adventure, and he's sure he'll find it in the Laughing Place. So, he leaves the Briar Patch, but Brother Bear and Brother Fox start following him and trying to catch him. They fail multiple times, and Brother Rabbit laughs at them each time. But after a while, Brother Fox manages to capture him inside a beehive. He takes him to his lair in Chickapin Hill. That's the top of the mountain. Brother Rabbit is about to be eaten by Brother Fox, but he outsmarts the villains and tricks them into throwing him back to the Briar Patch. That's where we fall!